was the month of December. Marley worked at an accounting firm in New York and was extremely excited because Christmas was approaching, her favorite festival. The entire office was glowing with fairy lights. People were decorating Christmas trees, and Secret Santa gifts were placed on every desk. On Marley's desk, too, there was a small black box, wrapped in glossy paper and tied with her favorite purple ribbon. Marley opened the box. Inside was a small Christmas tree decoration doll. Normally, Marley loved small Christmas decorations because she always hung them on her Christmas tree at home. But this doll was not new. It was old, dirty, and torn in several places. There were black stains on it. One of its arms was broken. The paint on its face had peeled off. And in place of eyes, there were only 2 white dots. Marley found it extremely creepy, so she immediately threw the box into the trash and distracted herself by celebrating Christmas with her co-workers. Marley thought the Secret Santa gift story had ended there. But when she went to sleep that night, she suddenly woke up to a strange laughter. When she opened her eyes, the same doll was on her bed, but now it had grown to the size of a human. Before Marley could understand anything, the doll began choking her with its hands. The white dots in its eyes slowly grew larger, and worms started crawling out of them, spreading all over Marley's body. Then the doll began laughing loudly and said, "Make sure you open the second gift tomorrow." Suddenly, Marley woke up. There was nothing in the room, and it was already morning. She thought it must have just been a terrible nightmare. That same day, when she reached the office, there was another gift on her desk. Marley opened the box and found a bracelet made of human hair. Brown, curly hair, looking completely real. In the center was a small metal heart. On the back, scratched into the metal, were the words, "I am right here." The moment she saw it, Marley felt nauseous. One of her colleagues joked that someone must be pranking her. Marley composed herself, forced a fake smile, and got back to work. But the shade of the brown hair and its curls disturbed her deeply. She felt like she had seen this hair before, belonging to someone she knew, but she couldn't remember who. That night, Marley felt an intense sense of fear. She locked the door from the inside. Suddenly, she heard the same Santa doll's laughter from the previous night, and felt as if someone was trying to choke her. She opened her eyes and saw no one in the room, but felt something rough on her wrist. When she looked, the same bracelet with hair and the metal heart was tied around her hand. She immediately tore it off, cut it, and threw it into the trash. Then she heard the doll's laughter again, this time clearly, coming from the living room. She pulled out her phone to call her friends, but the phone wouldn't turn on. As soon as she switched on the light, all the bulbs burst, and the laughter grew louder. For protection, she picked up a pair of scissors nearby. When she entered the living room, in the moonlight coming through the window, she saw the same doll placing black gift boxes around her Christmas tree. This time it looked even more horrifying. In its hand was the same hair bracelet, and it was laughing loudly as it walked toward Marley, saying, "Your third gift is waiting for you." Terrified, Marley fainted on the spot. The next morning, when she woke up, there were no signs of anyone entering the house, and nothing was under the Christmas tree. She convinced herself that it was all in her head, and went to the office. But there, inside her desk drawer, the third gift was waiting. No wrapping, no ribbon, just a Polaroid photo. It was a picture of Marley's bedroom. The same curtains, the same nightlamp, the same bedsheet. In one corner of the photo was a blurry shadow, wearing a Santa Claus-like hat. Marley immediately called office security and HR. The cameras were checked, but no one was seen approaching her desk. No one had placed any box there. Everyone dismissed it as work stress. But now Marley began seeing that horrifying shadow everywhere. Its laughter echoed day and night. Out of fear, Marley slowly started losing her sanity. Whenever she got the chance, she checked all the cubicles and storage cabinets in the office. She began having panic attacks, and her colleagues started avoiding her. Yet the gifts did not stop. Now, instead of the office, black boxes began arriving at her home. On Christmas Eve night, around midnight, there was a knock at her door. Trembling, she picked up a knife and opened it. Outside lay a black box. Inside was a torn envelope that read, "You broke my heart and I will destroy everything." Below it was a name. Reynold was Marley's colleague, who had suddenly resigned and disappeared about a year ago. Around Christmas time, he was deeply in love with Marley. When Marley once complimented his brown curly hair, the very next day he proposed to her, with a love letter and a marriage ring as a secret Santa gift. Marley had rejected him outright. After that day, Reynold never returned to the office. Reading his name, Marley's hands began to tremble. She realized that every gift, every wrapping, the creepy Santa doll, and the bracelet, everything was Reynold's doing. But how? Suddenly, a cold gust of air filled the room, along with the stench of rotting flesh. Marley felt someone breathing near her ear. Slowly, she turned around. In front of her Christmas tree stood Reynold wearing the same creepy doll costume. His body was decayed, as if he hadn't bathed for years. His entire body had Marley carved into it. He slowly walked toward her and said, "Your final gift is still left." Marley was completely panicked. She grabbed a vase nearby and smashed it over Reynold's head, but it passed straight through his body. Seeing this, Marley's soul trembled. She understood that Reynold had killed himself for her love, and now his spirit had come to take her with him. Marley began screaming hysterically. After some time, neighbors gathered after hearing her screams, and with the help of the police, the door was broken open. When they entered, Marley's dead body was lying on the sofa. Her eyes had turned completely black, and her body was ice cold. The room looked perfectly normal, with no signs of forced entry. Only in the corner of the living room stood a completely broken Christmas tree. On it, a small old torn doll was smiling. Under the tree were many black gift boxes that read, "Merry Christmas from Marley and Reynold." During the police investigation, another body was found in Marley's garden, approximately 10 to 12 days old. Shockingly, it was Bodie, who had apparently buried himself alive in Marley's garden.